Hey guys, Wrath Monster here. I just want to make a quick video covering runes and masteries. These are some of the basic builds I use. I've narrowed it down to about 4 or 5 that I find to be most effective in almost every situation, so I'll go over those with you guys. So starting with seals, in the rune category we have 2 different types of seals that we'll be using almost always, those being health per level and flat armor. Flat armor mainly used against physical damage opponents, and health per level used against magic output. So on the physical damage page, I usually run 9 flat damage reds, and then 3 flat attack speed quints. So this will give you, in an auto for auto situation, you'll get more autos and hence outtrade your opponent in most situations fighting ADs. And since we will be not facing a magic damage opponent, we can skip the flat MR reds and go for cooldown reduction per level at 18. So these runes will save you a lot of money if you plan on building any CDR in your item build, and you can always just build 1 flat MR item to compensate for those missing blues. So that's my usual versus AD opponents like Riven, Tryndamere, Fiora, etc. Moving on to magic damage. So in this page, it's actually, I run a bit different of a page since I don't need to trade quite as much autos. I like to run 3 attack speed reds, and that'll just give me 5%, which is pretty nice. Helps me last hit. And then fill it up with reds, and then no attack speed quints, and just flat damage. And then since you're going against a magic opponent, it's a good idea to run flat MR. Alright, we're going to be covering masteries now. So Nidalee's pretty versatile when it comes to masteries. She can run virtually any page she wants. It really just depends on the situation that you're running it in. So my main page for if I'm winning lane, or if I know I'm going to win lane, I will usually run this page here, which looks like this. So this page has increased ability damage, 3% increased damage when you're in melee form, and then 2% increased damage when you're in ranged form. And then it gives you lifesteal to keep yourself up. Spell Vamp applies to Takedown as a single target spell, so it helps out quite a lot actually. And Bounty Hunter will give you 1% increased damage for everybody that you kill. So if you kill all 5 of the enemy team, which is, it's not that unlikely when you're playing AD Nid, so it's definitely worth taking it over the 2.5% increased damage. This, you'd have to build some kind of slow item to make use of it, so it's not really worth it. I usually take this just to help me last hit, and then coming over to Assassin for extra damage, Merciless for extra damage, Dangerous Game just so I can pull off those high risk, high reward plays and still survive afterwards, maybe get a double kill, stuff like that. And as far as precision versus intelligence goes, I think precision is almost always more worth it to take, simply because if you're running intelligence, you can't run any, you either have to run 10% flat cooldown reduction in your runes to not get overcapped, or no cooldown reduction at all. So I don't think that it's necessarily worth it to run flat cooldown reduction blues combined with a flat cooldown reduction quint just to not overcap. And this will give you extra damage on all your spears and auto attacks and stuff like that. So precision almost always worth taking over intelligence. Thunderlord's Decree it's probably the most broken keystone in the game still, so this one is what I usually take for damage. As far as like alternate damage courses you can go, sometimes I run Fervor if I'm against someone that I just want to trade autos a shit ton with and take them down over time, and I'm not too worried about burst. Then I'll take this. It does apply 2 stacks on melee and then 2 stacks for spear or swipe or pounce, so you can get it pretty stacked up pretty fast if you're all-inning someone. You could also run this page right here. You can substitute 12 in resolve for 12 in ferocity for pretty much any page you want. It gives you a little bit less damage, but it gives you pretty insane lane sustain. I usually don't take this. I was taking it when it first came out, but I don't think it's really that good of a strategy to camp top bush on Nidalee anymore, because people can just trinket ward it at level 1 and poke you in the bush. So I usually take this just so I can be a little bit tankier. Increased heals and lifesteal is pretty good, and then the base health regen combined with 2.0 health regen per 5 gives you a decent amount of health regen in lane. So there's if I'm ever in a situation where I just simply need lane sustain extremely bad, you can run this page here. This page, whoops. So this page I would only run if I'm against 3 AP opponents. So if I'm against a Rise top with an Amumu jungle and a Lysandra mid, or a Malphite top, you know, that kind of thing, I'll take this page maxing heal first, so that way I have a lot of sustain in lane. I usually go AP when I build this build, but another thing that you can do to increase it further is by taking this page. This page is just like godlike sustain. Oops. So you'll have 8% increased heals from there, 10% increased heals from there, so that's 18% increased healing. And then with this page you have infinite mana pretty much, biscuits, which is increased by both of these, and then you can also rush Spirit Visage on this build, and that'll bump you up to 38% increased heals. So if you're maxing heal and you run this page, you'll stay capped in lane pretty much all the time. And then as far as resolve goes, you can run a couple different mastery pages in resolve. So this one right here is pretty decent. I would usually run it with a ferocity page, and the only problem with Grasp the Undying is it's kind of hard to stay in combat on Nidalee. You don't have any dots, you have to auto attack constantly, and then it is cut in half if you auto attack with your ranged auto. So in most situations you're gonna want to be transforming into cougar form to proc this, but it puts you at risk when you just go into cougar form and walk up to someone without a spear on the hunt passive. Let's see here. This page, or this mastery here, is pretty dang good. Once you get the full stacks, you can run this mastery with the upgraded flask that also gives you an extra stack of flask when you kill a large minion. So pretty much every time you kill a camp or every time you kill a cannon minion, you can get a bunch of health back and more stacks on your potion. So if you plan on split pushing, this is probably the mastery to go. Storm Raider Surge is another pretty badass mastery on Nidalee. You can run any kind of page in here with it. I would suggest going this, and then like that. So that way you get the move speed there, and then move speed here. And with this Storm Raider Surge, you're mainly going to want to build move speed items like Triforce and Boots of Swiftness. I usually go Triforce, Boots of Swiftness, and then attach the Furor upgrade onto them. So that way when I land a spear, I'm getting the Furor enchant that gives me 12% move speed. Then I can walk up, auto attack them, get the Phage movement speed, and then by the time I pounce in, I'm proccing that 30% of their max health, and I get 40% move speed. So this is a pretty brutal page. I usually run this in mid lane with a lot of damage items. Alright, that about wraps it up for Runes and Masteries on AD Nidalee. I'll be putting out more content in the future. I plan on making more edits, montages. I'm working on a Nidalee montage right now. It should be out in about a week, and tune in for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.